Welcome back to part 5 of making an iOS app in Python with Kivy. In part 5, I'm going to show you how to get this banner going. So right now I have this whole grid section as just a grid widget. And so now I'm going to go and individually make each one of these rows, okay? So I made a quick little change to the Firebase database behind the scenes. I just made it so it would work a little bit better for what I was looking for. So now in each of my workouts that I showed you in the last video, I've got a description. And so description will be this thing right here. Okay, and I have likes. Likes will be the number that goes here. And then I have number, and that'll be in the middle text. That'll be like 30 or something. And then I have type image. I decided type image would be this middle image here, whether it be for time, distance, or like sets or repetitions. And then I have units, so that'll go alongside this number. So that would say like number and then units. So I'd have 30 minutes, okay? And then last one, but not least, is the workout image, which will be this one here. So in my database, I have each piece. I have this piece, I have this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. And this one will stay the same, so I don't need to have that in the database. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the code. So here I am. This is my main.py file. And if you remember where we left off last time, we had all of our workouts retrieved from the database. And now for each workout, what we want to do is this right here, populate the workout grid in the home screen. So the first thing I need to do is be able to reference my workout grid. So let's go to where I had that before, which was here, this banner grid workout grid. And let's give it an ID so I can reference it from the Python side. So ID will be banner_grid. And actually, I'm going to give this guy an ID too, the streak label. Or we gave him an ID, and we can use the database to populate what we think the streak should be from the database. So if we go look at the database, right here, I added this one for this friend person, this ID. They have a streak of 12. Okay, so I can read this 12 from the database, and then using, here, let me get that out of the way. There we go. Okay, so we'll get the database streak and then update this label by its ID. And then also, since we have the avatar in the database as well, let's go up and give this image. Remember, this image is the one that is here on the app. Let's make it so we can change that guy too. So this image will have an ID of avatar image. Okay, so let's go back here. So I guess first we'll take care of the avatar image. So get and update avatar image. Okay, so the avatar image widget I can refer to by its ID by going self.root.ids. And all of these widgets are in my home screen file. But root, okay, self.root refers to, in my main KV file, this guy. So what I need to do is do self.root.ids. So I'm getting the IDs from him. And then I need to take the home screen. Okay. So I get the home screen ID. And now I need to look at the IDs in the home screen. So this is my home screen file. And the ID for my widgets here that I want to update are inside the home screen. So I'll take this ID. I'll copy it. And now I take the home screen's IDs and I put in avatar image. And now let's just change them. So avatar image dot source. They'll change the actual image. Should be icons, because that's in here, right? My icons slash, and then we'll add data, and we'll get the avatar image out of the data. Because remember, data is a dictionary with our data from the database, and avatar image is just one of the keys in the database. avatar. Oops, no image. Okay, so let's see if that works. Right now, it's supposed to be a man. Okay, that's by default. But now, as soon as I start my interface, it's going to grab whatever is in the database and populate it. And let's change this to girl. Okay, hit enter. Let's see if that works. We'll run. There you have it. Okay, our avatar is changed. So now whatever our avatar is in the database, it'll load up automatically. Okay, so we've got the avatar image. So now let's get and update streak label. Okay, so again, the streak label back in my home screen file has an ID of streak label. And we'll get rid of the text. We don't need text because we'll be updating it. Okay, so my streak label widget is self.root.ids. I have to get the home screen. Remember, root takes me to my main Kivy file, and then home screen is one of the widgets inside of my root widget. Okay, so I go into my home screen, then I get the home screen's IDs, and I take out streak label. So now I have my streak label widget, and let's go ahead and change the text. This should be from the data. What is it? Just streak? Let me check. Right here, it's just called streak. All right. So let's change this to something ridiculous like foo, and we'll see if we can tell it works. So we'll give it a run. Here, foo. Okay, that works. Great. So let's put in some units on there. We'll say data streak plus day streak. So it's going to say something like 8-day streak. Okay. And if this guy is like an integer coming from the database, I'll just convert him to a string to make sure we can concatenate this. All right. So let's change him to 12 or 4. Okay. So I run this. Bam. My avatar has changed. My streak has changed. Now let's get to the actual banner grid. So this part's going to be a little bit more complicated. What I need to do is create a widget that inherits a grid layout, because each banner is a grid layout essentially. And I'm going to have to do that in a Python class. So I'll create a new Python file. New Python file. Okay. I'll call it workout banner. Now I'm in workoutbanner.py, and I know I'm going to need kivy.uix.gridLayout. Oh, whoops. From import grid layout. And inside this grid layout, I'm going to have to do some other layout things, so I'll go ahead and import the float layout too. All right, and I know that my grid will have images in there and labels in there. So let's import those two as well. There's my label. Okay, now let's create my actual class that will be for the banner grid. So I'll say workout banner. And the base will be a grid layout. And for this guy, we'll just say he only has one row. All right, and then let's go ahead and get the init method in here. And we'll accept keyword arguments, because if we want to initialize this guy with like some positional values or something, then we'll be able to take them, just do that. And then we'll go ahead and do a super init. Let's see, which is it? I think it's workout banner self. I always forget what the order is. Okay, what this will do is, if we have some keyword arguments that relate to the grid layout, then it'll call basically the grid layouts init. So if you have like size hint equals something and pause hint equals something, it'll initialize the grid layout. So super meaning the parent of this guy. It'll initialize the grid layout with those like position hints, size hints, whatever. That's just good practice to do. Okay, and so we have one row. So let's start by identifying what we need here. So we have our overarching grid. Now I think I need 3 separate float layouts maybe. This and that will be one. This and that will be another. And then this and that will be a third. Okay, so I'm thinking a left, a middle, and a right. So we need a left float layout. Okay, so I'll say maybe left equals float layout. All right, and inside this float layout, I'm going to need to add some widgets. The first one will be an image, and the second one will be a label. So let's see, left image is going to be an image, and the source of this image will be icons slash, and then this guy comes from the database, right? And I'm going to be passing the name of this image in the keyword arguments. So I'll say I want kwargs, and then what did I call it in the database? Let's see. Workout image. Okay, so that's the one that I want to have here. So I'll take workout image. Okay, so that should be fine for the image. And then we'll say left label is a new label. And text should come from kwargs also, because I want this to be the description. And we have the description in the database here. So we'll take it from the kwargs description. Okay. And then also note that since we're using a float layout here, we definitely need to specify the size hint and position hints for our widgets inside the float layout. So size hint for this image should probably take up the entire width of the float layout. So this will be 1, taking the full width, and probably 0.8 of the height. Okay, and then I'll give 0.2 of the height to the label just below. So position hint, we'll just have this guy be at the top, right? Top 1, left 1. All right, that's fine. And now for this one, let's see, size hint will be 1 and 0.2 because we only need 0.2 of the height, and definitely take up the full width of the float layout. And by the way, since we'll be having 3 float layouts, this left, and then we'll have a middle and a right below. Since we have 3, the whole grid layout here will be divided up into 3 equal parts. So that's going to work out nice. And now pause hint we'll have as top 1, or sorry, top should be 0.2, right? Because it has to be below this guy here. So 1 minus 0.8 is 0.2. And then left can stay at 1. So now we need to add this image and this label to the float layout. So we'll say left.add widget, left image, and also left.add widget, left label. Okay, perfect. Now we also need to add this whole left side to my actual grid layout. So I can do that just by doing self.add widget left, because self is the base grid layout, and left is now my it's this guy here. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. We'll give it, oh wait, sorry, we haven't, so we've got our base class here, and we've got the left side of the banner working. So now we actually need to bring that guy into our code here and instantiate that class and tell him exactly what the workout image should be, that kind of thing. So let me import from workout banner. That's the file I just made right here. Okay, this is the file I just made. From workout banner, import a workout banner class. And now we have all my workouts already. That was from the last video. Now for workout in workout, let's create, I'll just call it W, it's not important. W is a workout banner, and we'll say workout image should be my workout dictionary, and I'll get the workout image from there. So I like keeping my names consistent. It's pretty obvious what everything should be, right? So this workout image is going to be what I'm referring to here, okay? And this workout image from my workout is going to be what comes from the database right here. So you can see how it all is pairing together. So we got the workout image, and now we need the description in there as well. And same thing, that's coming from the database, and I've kept all the names consistent, so it's easy to, oops, that should be workout. Easy to remember. There. And now, this would create a workout banner for us, but we need to actually add it to our grid, right? So let's see, in my home screen Kivy file, here's my banner grid, right? So I need to add my workout banner into here. So I'll reference this guy by his ID, copy, back to main.py. Okay, so banner grid is self.root.ids. I need to go into home screen again, because remember my banner grid is inside my home screen. And I'll take the IDs from my home screen, and I'll get the banner grid. So here we go. Now I can add a widget to my banner grid, and I'll add W, which is this workout banner. Let's see what happens, okay? Oh, an error, surprise, surprise. Workout banner takes exactly one argument, 4 given. What's wrong here? Did I screw this up? Did I go backwards? Nope. Oh, maybe that's not self there. Hang on. There it is. Okay, sorry about that. So in the super init, I can never remember the exact syntax there. I accidentally had an extra self here, which I did not need. Okay, so I ran, and here I am so far. I've got my little workout image and my description. So you can see from the database, my workout image was bike.png. That's that image. And then the description was went biking. Perfect. And then my second workout, here's number 2. The description was pull-ups. So here you see pull-ups. And the workout image was bars.png. And there's the bars.png. Okay? So nice. We've got the left side working. So we just need to get the middle, which will be this part. And then we need to get the right, which will be this part. So let's go ahead and do it. In my workout banner, we've already defined the left, so we need a middle float layout now. Awesome. Middle is float layout, just like that. We're going to do pretty much the same thing as we've done up here. So middle image will be image, and the source should be icons slash, and now what did I call this? Type image. Okay, so I want the type image. So icons plus kwargs type image. And let's go and make sure that we're throwing in type image to our instantiation of this workout banner object over here. So workout banner, I need type image now. And that should be equal to, there we go. Okay, type image needs to be workout, and I'll get the type image. Okay, so remember this workout is one of the workouts from our database, and I have this key type image inside there. Okay, so here's type image inside the workout, and now I'm passing that as a keyword argument to my workout banner. Perfect. And we'll get the same size hint and position hint in there. Okay, and now we can say size hint is 1 because this will take up the entire width of this float layout, which at the moment, since I have 2 of these guys in there, it'll be half the entire screen. When I have 3, it'll be a third of the entire screen. Okay. So basically, the size hint refers to relative to the parent widget. So the parent widget of this middle image will be this middle float layout. Okay, middle label will be a label, and text should be this number here, and then concatenated with the units, right? So I'm gonna need to get some more keyword arguments in there. So this will be the number plus, and I'll do a space, plus kwargs units. All right, and then position hint and size hint, you guessed it, we'll use the same from up here. All right. Okay, and now back to main.py. We need to make sure that we're passing this number keyword argument and units keyword argument. So up here, let's add another keyword argument called number, and that'll be from the workout data, get the number, and then also units will be from the workout data, get the units. Okay? And just the same as before, we have to actually add these 2 widgets to our middle float layout. So middle.addWidget, middle image, middle.addWidget, middle label. And now, of course, we have to add it to the actual grid layout up here, right? So here we go, self.addWidget, widget, middle. Okay, let's see what happens now. Oops. Invalid. Oh, okay, I was trying to concatenate instance strings. My bad. So this guy is probably going to be, it's a number, so it'll be an integer coming from the database. So I better make sure that I cast it to a string first. All right, second try. Nope. I spelled widget wrong somewhere. Where did I spell it wrong? You guys probably caught that. I didn't. And then there's a capital. Oh boy. I should use autocomplete a bit more. Here we go. Oops. Okay, something has happened. I accidentally set things on top of each other. Let's look back and see what happened. All right, I see what happened. So sometimes this left, oh sorry you guys wouldn't have been able to tell, I cut the video to figure out what was wrong real quick. So using this left parameter, for some reason it doesn't always work out exactly how you might think, but using right seems to work a bit better. So I'm going to change all of these to right. Okay, so before I had left is 1, and left is 1, left is 1. And you saw that they were stacking on top. So let's see what happens if I choose right instead. Okay, they're not stacked on top of each other anymore. So that was the issue before. Not sure why using the left keyword does that. Maybe just stick with right. That's always worked for me. So we've got our 2 in here. Now we need to go and get this last one, which will be this little fist bump or like image, and then the number here. That number is going to be from the database, likes, okay? So 0 for this workout, 2 for that workout. And this image will stay constant, so I always know what to get in there. Okay, so we need the right float layout. And then we're just going to do the exact same thing. Right is a new float layout. Let's see, right image will be always the same one. So I'm going to hard code it in there. Icons slash, let's see, what did I call it? Likes.png. I'll just write the whole thing here. Likes.png. Okay, and then size hint will be the entire width of the widget, and 80% of the height of this guy. And then the position hint, remember we're going to use right this time. So top will be 1 and right will be 1. Okay, let's get a label in there. Text will be string, quargs likes. Okay, so we're going to need to get a new keyword argument. So let's do that now. So likes, I'll copy that and go back to where I'm instantiating my workout banner. Okay, add another one here. Paste. So likes equals workout, and then we'll get the likes data from the workout dictionary. Okay. So back here, we're casting it to a string because that should be a number, hopefully, right? Plus, we'll say likes, or fist bumps. Nice. And now, just as before, we need to add some widgets to write. So write.add widget, autocomplete, right? Image, write.add widget, get the label. And now scroll down a little bit and self.add widget right. Okay, let's see if it works. Boom. Oops, what happened to our label? I don't think I gave it any size or position hints. So there, little lesson, if you forget to add size hint and position hint, it won't show up, or probably not where you expect it to. So the size hint should be the full width and 20% of the height. Position hint should be top is 0.2, and right should be 1. Okay. Try that again. Boom. There it is. Okay, you can see I have sort of matched what I've got going on here. What I need to do now is probably get a little background color on there. So maybe I'll change the background to that gray color. And I'm going to try to put everything in a scroll view too. And then maybe we'll add a couple workouts and see if we can scroll through them. All right? Let's work on it. So first things first, let's change the background color of my whole grid layout widget. So to do that, you need to work with the canvas of the grid layout. I'll do canvas.before so it paints everything before putting the other widgets on there so that the widgets are in front of the color. To work with the canvas, you need to get, let's see, from Kivy.graphics. Import color. There it is. From Kivy.graphics, import color and rectangle. Okay. This has to be with self.canvas.before. Now we need to create the color. So I'll say color RGB is, I use this trick, Kivy.utils.get color from hex, and then I'll give it a hex color. And let me make sure I import Kivy.utils. Import Kivy.utils. And the hex color I want there, I'll have this be my little gray color that I specified on my own time a little bit ago. Okay, so we've said we've got a color, and now we need to put in a rectangle. This should be, let's see, size. Size equals self.size, and then pause equals self.pause. Let's see if that works. Oops, everything is set down there in the corner. So the reason why that happens is it sort of before things are created, it tries to make this canvas, and before things are created, they don't really have the correct size or position, so it kind of screws up. Okay, so what we need to do is sort of configure this workout banner to know that anytime its pos or size attribute changes, so self.size here for the grid layout or workout banner, anytime either of these variables change, we need to update this rectangle because at the start, before things are loaded incorrectly, self.pos and self.size are incorrect. So once things have loaded, we need to automatically update this rectangle. So I'll make it so I can reference this guy from a different function. So I'll call him self.rect equals rectangle. And then to bind a function to any time like the size or position is changed, so of my workout banner, so anytime the self.size is changed, I can use the self.bind function, okay? So self.bind is coming from Kivy's grid layout. Really, I think almost any Kivy widget has this. So I can say anytime the pos attribute of self is changed, I want to call my function, I'll call it self.update rect, okay? And I don't call it like that, I just tell it the function that I want to do. And then anytime the size changes, I'll also do self.update rect. Okay, so now I'm going to go create a function, update rect, that changes the size and position of my rectangle here so that it draws correctly once things are actually loaded in. I'm just going to write it here so we can see what exactly is going on. So def update rect, okay, self, and then I need to take just arbitrary arguments because bind passes some junk. I don't need to use it, but I have to take it, okay? So let's see, when I do this, I need to update my rectangle. So self.rect.pos equals self.pos. So I'm just changing the rectangle's position to be equal to the banner's position when the banner's position changes. And then we'll do the same thing for size. Okay, so pretty much I'm binding a function, so anytime the position or size of my banner changes, and it changes while things are loading in, I'll call this function, and this function will update my rectangle, which I'm using to draw my color on. Okay, I think that should work, so now let me get it out of here, out of this function. Oops. Okay. Now let's see if that works. Boom. Very nice. Okay. So that's a really kind of unintuitive thing to know. I don't remember that one off the top of my head all the time. I had to look that up really quick if you notice the break in the video. But when you're doing a canvas, you know, with a color and a rectangle in the KV language, it automatically binds. It does this process automatically for you. So it's a lot easier to do when you're working in the KV language. But here, because I have to update things kind of programmatically, I have to work in Python. Okay, so we've got those rectangles in there. So that looks nice. Now what I want to do is make this a scroll view so I can have maybe like 10 different banners in here and I'll be able to click and scroll through them, okay? So I'll be posting or have posted maybe at the point this video is up a little introduction to scroll views in Kivy, but they're really not too bad. So let me go over to my home screen, and this is my banner grid, remember? And right now it's just a static grid layout. So what I want to do is I want to actually make a scroll view, and then in my scroll view I'll have this grid layout. And then these size and position hints are for this widget now. All right. And now we need to define 4 special attributes for a grid layout inside of a scroll view. And they are size hint Y, should be none for a vertical scroll view, which is what I'll be using. And then let's see, we need row default height. Oops, row default height needs to be self.minimum height. And then we need row force default to be true. And then also we need height. Oh wait, what was it? Oh, sorry, my mistake. this self.minimum height, that needs to be the height of the grid here. Okay, so the height of the grid should be the minimum height. And then here, row default height, this is where I can specify some like units and dimensions. So this 10 means I want 10 of my DP units to be the default row height. DP you can read about in the Kivy documentation. It's a unit of pixel density, something screen dimensions. Okay, maybe let's change it to 20. Now, if I run it, okay, so 20 DP is really small, so maybe that should be a little bit bigger. Let's try 100. Okay, that looks pretty reasonable, but I still can't scroll. The reason why I can't scroll is because I just simply don't have enough banners in here. So let me do some spacing in the grid layout so that there's like a little bit of some in-between space between them. So spacing, let's see, 10, I forget how many different items I need there. Okay, that works. So we've got a couple banners, and let's go see, let's fake putting in a bunch of workouts. So I'll go over to main.py. So right now, I only have 2 workouts from my database, right? So only 2 of them are getting shown in here. So let me just do a quick little for loop, and I'll just put in a couple extra. All right, so we'll have some duplicates. So now I should have 2 workouts times 5 each. So I should have 10 total banners in here. Okay, I do, and this one's chopped off, and that's because it's now a scroll view, and I can scroll down through them. So I have a feed of my workouts, and you see I have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for biking, and then 5 for the pull-ups workout. Okay, so there you go. We've got our banners in there. We took all this data from the database and we put it into a scroll view. I think that wraps it up for this video. Thanks for watching.